We are going to be starting now. Please enjoy the Snohomish Steelheads captain. This one is Rio Alcorta, the captain and the winner of the goal of the year last year. And this is driving home Iasksen, one of our former coaches, former Gala player, and now captain of the Gala Pro-Team. So I think it's going to be exciting for you guys to hear from them. I know that Rio's recording is not that great, but the information he's giving is great. Please pay attention to it. Thank you, guys.
Before the live session starts, I'm going to be asking a couple of questions to my pro captains. Snohomish Steelheads pro captain Rio is here, right there. And then we have the pro Gala Pro Team's captain, and he used to coach for Gala and played for Gala. Jason is there. He's driving still, so we're gonna ask him questions when he arrives home. That's craziness, but we're doing this. So Jason, pay attention to the road. Don't worry about it. Like right now, Rio is gonna speak first. Rio, do you want to introduce yourself, where you played, and a little bit about you?
Sure. Well, obviously, my name is Rio. I'm currently on the Steelheads. This is this would have been my 4th year with you now. Before that, I played collegiately at Pacific Lutheran University. I played for Snohomish U19, Crossfire, and then Eaglemore High School, so I played in high school.
He has the goal of the year last year. I will post that in somehow too. Again, we posted in one of the live sessions, but it's definitely one of my favorite goals as well. Amazing angle, back post, upper V. It's a good shot. All right. Rio, in your opinion, what makes a complete player? What makes a player that is successful, that can go far? And a lot of the younger guys are listening to this too. So what do you think? And this is also, of course, your teammates. And some of them kind of checked out during this time. So that could be a good message for them as well,
Complete player, to me, is someone who can play a full game, someone who can pass, shoot, head, tackle, has good vision, keeps their cool, they're fast, they're strong. All this, it makes them a leader by example. But I also think a complete player has the mentality that they're not a complete player, so they're always working to improve every aspect of the game. For example, my mentality, I believe that I'm a really good player. I do, and I have to for my confidence on the field. But I never think that I'll reach my full potential. Just because if I did reach my full potential, then that's it, right? I can't get any better.
Right attitude for sure.
Yeah, as I do get better and better, my potential also gets higher and higher. So there's always something for me to chase after. So I'm always improving myself that way. Does that make sense?
You need to compete with yourself all the time to be able to be better.
But yeah, I also I don't think a complete player has to be able to play every position brilliantly. I do think it means that you have to have the qualities to be a good player anywhere on the pitch, and you're always striving to get better, like I said. I actually have a little story, if you want me to share. Kind of helped shape my mentality towards this. One day when I was training at PLU, it was after we had just lost to Whitworth. They're another top 3 team in the conference over there. This is probably 3 years ago now, but we just suffered a loss to them and at home. And it was a terrible time for us, right? But my coach told us the Monday after we lost to them, he said there's a big difference between someone who plays soccer and someone who is a soccer player. And he didn't have to explain himself at all. We all knew what that meant right away. And it was just those words stuck with me a lot and helped me shape mentality towards that. Always improving yourself. Because soccer players, they want to be better and better every day. If you just play soccer, just to play soccer, it's a different mentality,
But it's important the right players hearing that, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trust me, I'm sure that some of the players in your program that hear that and just meant nothing to them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's important that you have the right mentality, even to be able to take an inspirational speech like that. So what about, what do you usually expect from your players? Let's just example it with Steelheads. What has been good for you? What is some areas that you want them to be better? But in general, what do you expect from your players all the time, every game after every game?
Well, expectations, as far as expectations go, I just expect they will support me, you, each other, and that they try to be better than they were yesterday. Because if we're not constantly improving individually and as a team, there's no way we're going to grow as a club. So like it's just important to always be growing, right?
Yeah.
Offensively, like for our offense, I think our offense needs to put more trust into our goal scorers and our forwards. They need to play simple and just be more confident in general. One thing that I was dying to see us do last year, and I hope we can start doing this next year, is to get the ball to our strikers' feet, have them lay off their mids and switch it, rather than them trying to beat three people and losing possession. It's just happening way too much. And it's so simple but so effective, Honestly, I think forwards just get restless when they get that fill through by right away. But, like, we need to open the gaps first if we want to play those balls. It's not just magic, we're going to open that.
Yeah, exactly. Ideally, like my whole game plan, and I've been telling you this for a while since you start playing D mid, is a forward that can hold the ball and let us arrive to their half and then drop it back to you or somebody else in the center mid. And then we build up a second round attack. I feel like, some of our forwards definitely is not patient enough to, get enough numbers to their half, and they just want to turn and maybe complete the triangles with like two people, which is not going to happen. It's really low percentage of success, right? And I feel like with more numbers and with patience, I think we're going to be able to do a lot better. And I think we've done such amazing job here and there. I feel like, when we add like Fabian and Jason type of players up front, they're more patient. They kind of waiting for you guys. They want more numbers because they know, they're not the fastest guys. So they know that they need to use their brain. And I think the Luna does that too. And I like his perspective on that. And Carlos does that. I think we need more of that kind of players, and that's why I felt like with the players we had, playing with three forwards, the wide players could be better for possession, which kind of helped us out dramatically because we didn't really have a hard-working number 10 when we played a 3-5-2, and the forwards wasn't sliding all the time. So I think the three forwards kind of worked out for us.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to that?
Defensively, improving. Like obviously, what happened last year. We saw our results. They're undefeated, right? Only allowing 9 goals all year.
6 goals in the league, yeah.
6 goals in the league, yeah. For Steelheads, we have some new defenders that we're excited to welcome to the team this year. And it's great, especially considering we had 3 or 4 center backs injured last year at one point. So
yeah.
And they have to step into that role, which may seem easy to some of the parents, but it's a huge role because center backs are the spine of our team and huge responsibility. So I'm just excited to start the new season. I can't wait to get to playing again.
Oh yeah, same with me. I agree. Is that like what do you think about like players who are off season right now? They're all bummed out that they can't be in the field together, they can't train. But obviously, you see that I'm making an effort to do live sessions. At least they can learn the system. We're sending out like workout videos and assignments to get them stay in shape. And some of them obviously seem to be motivated. They just kind of cut off from the world of soccer completely. And what do you suggest to them, or what do you think they should be doing right now? Because the season is gonna sooner or later start.
Yeah.
And with the updates today, there's a drug that is kind of start to work. They might even move on a little bit quicker on opening things more too. So we want to come back, but we don't want to come back to a bunch of out of shape soccer players. You know what I mean? So What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when we get back, we kind of have to hit the ground running, right? We're not gonna have very much time to get in shape at training and stuff. We have to work on tactics and stuff like that. But just like sending in those 20 videos or any kind of workout videos is good for all of us to see. Just a little bit of motivation for each and every one of us. Kind of shows your teammates that you're working, you're willing to be ready for when the time comes to get back on the field. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to just kind of go off a little bit. what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Hopefully they're gonna be able to hear you because the sound is really like foggy. But Jason, could you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Like, do you understand it and stuff? Because maybe I don't hear it that clearly from my side. But let's go with Jason real quick. Jason, what do you think about what makes a complete player in your opinion?
Yeah, so I think the number one overall thing would definitely be coachable. That kind of embeds other things like humility because they already know that they're not, what they can be. I think as well as like just someone that'll just work like a dog. If someone's willing to put in the work and is coachable, they'll be able to go a long ways.
Yeah, like do you agree with Rio about they need to be able to do several different things like defense or attacking, like total football. I think my complete player visual is a total football mentality, which started in Holland. A defender got to be able to do what offense a forward can do. A forward got to be able to defend. A goalie needs to be able to pass like a center mid. Like everybody needs to be able to total football. So what I imagine in my mind about a complete player is coachable, like you guys both said. Hunger, constant hunger. They're not satisfied with themselves. They always want to push themselves, but also able to do other people's jobs when it's necessary. So it's important that we find that complete. Rio always says somebody else in there. All right, let's see. What do you expect from your teammates in Gala Pro-Team?
I mean, like you guys were kind of mentioning, like with the whole videos, I mean, you expect everyone to be doing it. You kind of expect some to probably fall behind, but it's usually pretty obvious who those people will be. And so you want everyone to, want it as much as you do. You want everyone to be selfless and to, when you're playing in the game itself, no one's trying to take on, 4 guys by himself. He's going to work as a team.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think about what your offense can do better and what your defense can do better?
Yeah, so our forwards specifically, we all have an issue with turning, from one side and switching it to the other. I thought we started to see some progress right as this all hit, but I would still say that's probably definitely going to be something we need to continue to work on, as well as the through balls. I don't think anybody forwards-wise makes those through balls to the outside forwards. Midfielders on the offensive side, more balls over the top for the outside forwards. Defensively, I would say cover the center is definitely the number one. I think we get pulled off to one side, especially when we have the ball. Mm-hmm. And so if the ball gets stolen, we're going to get beat in the middle.
Yeah, we can't overcommit. I agree. And especially with our system, like we don't get scored on a lot of goals because we take care of the center, and we need to continue doing that. I was worried about Gala because it's a lot of new team players and stuff. I feel like what I would say about the Gala program, I think they're going to have a good team. I just feel like we do need more communication in the back, like a little bit more vocal. Like we got in the Steelheads, we do have some guys who can talk, and we have a loud keeper, and I think that fixes a lot of the problems. And you have defensive mids that shows up more than Gala Pro-Team in Steelheads, so it's they're a little bit better on that coming out from the back, and obviously they have a record-breaking season for undefeated and the amount of goals they got scored on. And honestly, you should have seen out of state, we lost 1 game. That's it, out of state. But we were undefeated in Washington, and if you were there, you would have known that we actually won that game against Portland Timbers U19. Like we second half, first half they definitely dominated us, but second half we got them in our hands, and the coach was very upset with me, like very upset. And we were doing really well. Like on 2-0 first 10-15 minutes, and you're thinking that you're gonna get murdered by these USL players that they get paid to play soccer. And then we went up there second half. We scored a goal. We scored another one that didn't count. That should have been a goal because it was not offside. It was one of our players receiving the ball from a throw-in that flicked it over. The keeper scored the goal. but the referee actually gave the original goal, but the AR young guy called him in, and then he decided to change the call to offside. Unfortunately, we don't have VAR. So otherwise, I think we would have got that. In the last seconds, Fabian got fouled in the box, and it's to a point that the coach of Portland Timbers U23 got mad at the defender for doing that. The referee didn't call it. He was surprised. So it was interesting. And so we ended up losing 2-1, but it could have been a 3-2 game right there easily. And I think us being a semi-pro team versus players who's getting paid to play, we definitely, I think that was a wake-up call. I remember his speech after the game. I just yelled at some of these players. We had some players that we got rid of later on the season that was questioning everything. The system, some of the players shouldn't be in the field. I'm better than that guy. Why is he playing? That kind of guys, we kind of get rid of some of them. And it really helped. And that after the game, definitely I see it in their eyes. They start believing in the system. That game was a turning point. They saw that they could do it. This system against a USL team, they should win this league. And I think we did. We definitely did. So I think that was an eye-opener. Rio, what do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, definitely after that game in Portland, I think our whole team kind of came together more. We all kind of knew what we were standing behind and playing for after that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, eye-opener for sure. Eye-opener that you can actually go through the defenses like it's nothing, even though they are USL team. Like, we had so many chances, Jason. Like,
I was walking over to the PK spot. I was ready to take that PK and score.
I know. Like, no, you should have seen. Fabian got fouled. Like, you could hear the clip from behind.
Yeah.
And the coach is like, what are you doing? It's the last minute. And the referee didn't give the foul. And I was like, and I looked at him, he's like relaxing. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, we got him in our hands. And like, that guy is getting paid good amount of money to do that. So him losing to us is definitely, he was not, like, we were doing a lot of substitution. He was getting really mad about that. And I was doing that because they let us have unlimited substitutions. We made a trip up there with 20 players. I'm going to play those guys. This is a friendly game. But I also was doing it. He was right about one thing. Every time they are getting momentum and they were like building up, I was doing substitutions. Slow it down. So it's not a lie, it's true. But sometimes you gotta be smart. Part of the game is psychological game. So you need to be able to do that. And I think we did. I was really proud of the boys. And I think that's there are, in coaches' careers and players too, there are games that you lose but you're not upset about. I think that tops all of them. Like for me, like I lost a game and that was on the top. Like I consider it like a win.
I was so upset, yeah.
Obviously, but so it's important that we see it as a positive turnaround. Like, because I think that changed the season. And I feel like people started believing the system more. And believing the coach more, believing each other more, the captains more. And that was John's big game. He came to us, joined, and he didn't really play defense for us. He jumped into a position that, because Logan was injured, he couldn't come back. He just jumped in that game, and we didn't know what to expect, and he just did outstanding. So I think that's got some good news for us for sure. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna say this real quick. We're gonna have the live session starting. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Okay, guys, I hope you could hear it. I know the Rio's recording was kind of foggy and it wasn't very clear, but I hope you guys could hear the information. That was good information here again. Do you have any comments? I would like to see some of your guys' comments before we go into the second section. I want to hear your opinions, comments, or even questions. I can answer them for you, and later on we can even ask them too. Please let me know as soon as you can. Well, if you believe in the system and if you are disciplined about it, yes, it can work. Well, the special thing about the system, it's an underdog system. So Ajit is asking the question, you guys probably can see it. What's different about the system is an underdog system. So if you're playing teams better than us, we can face them and we can bring them down to our level and we can beat them at our game. The whole system is made tactically for that. It makes them worry, it makes them hurry up with their decisions. We try to not give them so much time in our half, not space behind our danger zone, which is the center area. So that makes it very difficult for them to go through. I had many of my teams. It's not an accident that many of my teams broke records before of the least goals getting scored on, and every time we broke that record, we also win the league too. So it's not like we're one of the mid-section teams that just defend, and not maybe we have the success behind it, but we definitely. Every time we broke the record of the best defensive record, we won the league, and this happened so many times. Two of my teams won it twice in a row, and funny enough, one team was more technical and more possession team. The other one was more drag style, more defensive, more physical soccer, and they both won their league. Playing the same system, just a little bit different. So, but the bottom line is, it's all about defending. Okay, and the team that was more physical went actually than the technical team went further. They actually won more scholarships. They won more games. They won more leagues. They won more tournaments. And sometimes the hard work really is a lot more than just technique and talent. I'm just reading the comments right now, guys, as we speak, and I'm answering some of you guys' questions. Jeff made a great point. I love what he said there. I hope that you guys read Jeff's comment. Both players are good examples of consistency with what you're teaching players and coaches at Gala. I have heard these points from the first day that we joined Gala, he says. I'm trying to follow them, he says. I believe in the system or whatever. I gotta go to the next one because it's moving on. Sorry, Jeff, but I hope that everybody reads what he said up there. It's a great point. Well, I see Joe's thing. Honestly, like Joe, one of the things that we do need in the younger teams, especially, is its leadership, and unfortunately, sometimes it's prevented by the. Last week we were watching the Andres comment about the helicopter parenting, and we really want these guys to start owning up to being responsible for them and showing up to practice on their own, letting us know when they're not going to show up at the age of 13, 14. So we also start seeing who will be the captains, as Andre said last week. So I think it's important that we literally expect more out of them instead of us doing all the work for them. My philosophy always been, expect more from the players. They are capable of doing a lot more physically and mentally, and mental part of the game is a lot more important than the physical. So if there's no any more comments, I'm going to be moving on. I want you guys to, I don't know if you guys can see the whole video. Let's see, a little bit moving this way. Okay, so this is my former team's U19 program. So they have 2003 players in this team and 2002 players in this team. This game was about 2 months ago against their rival team, Fenerbahce. And I wanted you guys to see some of the highlight videos. And I'm like some of you guys thinking, some of the things you ask from us and some of the stuff is too much, or these are 2003 2002 players, and so it's not very far from you guys' age. Obviously they play for professional teams, U19 team. Obviously they're going to be very talented, but capabilities, physical capabilities are not that different than some of you guys. The technical part of the game and decision making, and you could see from every kit they have, they've been training a lot more than they're actually playing games. And I think that perspective, again, I know you got some parents out there that wants you guys, your sons, to play in Cash Park on Sunday, Saturday, indoors, Snohomish on Saturday evening, Friday we're gonna go to this high school to kick the ball around. It's not helping them. Organized training sessions, guys. Organized training sessions. And if you want to improve their visual and footwork, street soccer or futsal, some stuff like that is good, but not too much game. More training. Please get that perspective. And let's watch this video now. Great shot. We don't know if it's actually officially a goal there, but definitely a great shot. And look at the offensive players versus the defensive players that are following the shot. This picture right here shows a lot about what's going to happen next. Who wants the ball more? Who wants to rebound more? How many players do you see going towards that shot in the offensive side versus defense? Follow through, and he finishes. It's a common thing, by the way, in Europe. A common thing. If you guys see that when players score, they celebrate with audience for sure. But they also, majority of the time, especially in youth soccer, they go to their bench, celebrate with their teammates, they celebrate with their coaches. It shows a lot of character from a player to do that. And let's watch some of the other highlights. What are that cross? Did you see that cross? That's not a goal on the outside of the net. It's a lucky goal from a cross. Keeper thought defense would have got it. It bounced. Alright, this one I really like, this attack right here. So obviously the ball came from the right side to their number 9, and usually what we do is, because it came from the left side, number 7, our forwards automatically, they want to go, let's go together forever, give and goes, because that's what we do at Washington State. Give and goes every time. Let's do this square ball. Instead of that, a player who has a vision, he knows that every time the ball stays in one side, more defenders are sliding to that side. So quicker you open the game to the opposite side, more chances, more clear chances you guys are gonna have. That doesn't mean you can't pass it back to the player, but it's more useful in a long term. And if you guys make more decisions like this forward does, it's going to be opening the game a lot more. Let's go a little bit more back, and you guys can see it clear. He gets the ball, he opens the game to the opposite side in front of the player. He has space. Attack didn't end well. Look at that shot, that was beautiful too. But I like the perspectives of it, right? Look at that shot now, guys. The player with dribbling ability, what he's doing, the short, quick touches that we used to show you guys in some drills that I show you, quick, short touches makes a huge difference in soccer. So I want you guys to see these small little touches and one quick touch to open up space, short, 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 longer, another long fake, bomb to back post, beautiful goal. That kid is in the radar of a lot of the English teams right now, by the way, the one that scored. Do you see, like, okay, another thing I just want to show you guys here. So this guy passes the ball, he's making a run, right? But look at the first place center mid gets the ball, the first place he looks. Does he look back to him? Or does he want to catch the defense off guard? These guys are all going to be professionals. All these kids that you're watching right now, they're going to be getting paid. And they are getting paid right now. So I start getting paid playing for the U19, U17 teams. I was getting paid at the age of 14. So these guys are getting paid. They're already professional players. So think about this. The perspective of a young kid at that age, instead of looking and making it so obvious that, oh, this guy passed it to me, I'm going to pass it back to him. He could still do that, guys. Again, I'm going to make sure you guys are clear. He could still give it back to that guy. But the first place he should look is the opposite side if he can see an opening there. Beautiful teamwork, not selfish, selfless. Great job. I want to rewind that again. I want you guys to watch this work. Gets the ball back, give it back to his player. There's definitely communication there to be able to do that. Look at that pass. Beautiful touch. He looks at the keeper like he's going to shoot, but he's aware of where his player is. Obviously, there's communication going on up there too. I want you guys to make a comment about this or ask a question about any of these goals. It's a 3-1 win for the Istanbul champs. Jeff, you're saying horrible defense, but these kids are actually good. It shows that anybody can make mistakes in defensive work. I just want to make sure you guys understand though. Let's try to score a goal against that horrible defense you're saying. It's going to be pretty tough. I mean, a lot of these U19 teams, by the way, Galatasaray, this team, plays in the Champions League of the U19s. So plays against the best teams in Europe. They have games against Real Madrid, they have games against Milan, they have games against Liverpool, United, Manchester City, so they play in the top divisions. So I can guarantee you that this levels, they can compete in MLS and they might even win MLS. Unfortunately, they're very high level, but I see that you catch the... I just don't want the players to think that the defense is not quality. They make mistakes just like anybody. All about composure, Kim. I see that you guys were talking about your girls panicking and shooting as quick as they can. They're not confident about themselves. If they are like composed like this, they'll be scoring a lot more goals. Big point, by the way, ladies. I hope you heard that. You need to be aware of them before you get the ball for sure, Kate. The first, yep, TJ has got a good point there. The first place is a good center mid, a good player, and number 10, number 9, that is open the game wise, they always look at the opposite side first. And then they can come back and make different decisions. I'm reading Jason's comment right now. Exactly, good points, guys. Okay, the next highlight, we're going to be going to here. Next highlight, we're going to be going to this one. This is the Champions League. Club Brugge, the champion of Belgium, which, if you guys kind of think about a lot of these youth programs in Belgium, they raise a lot of top level players like Eden Hazard. You know, Lukaku came from that, obviously. Dembele came from there. Like, there's so many good players, and obviously you guys see the Belgium national team from now on is a dominant you know, power in the world soccer, and Club Brugge is one of the best youth programs in professional world. So it's definitely both the clubs, they raise players, and unfortunately Galatasaray case, they want to make money, so they sell their players all the time. But you can see the quality of players from both sides. Now watch this. Watch this. Blind spot. Blind spot. Defense here. And I know you guys are going to be now saying something like, oh, defense should never make a mistake like that. Now, listen. Most of the time, this defender, he gets the ball, and this player is, right now, is walking, right? So he's not even interested in like going after that. So he just turns his back to him, thinking that, you know, he's not coming. So we have a lot of time to drop the ball and open the game and stuff. But it's the brilliance of this forward. Once he realizes the defender turns his blind spot to the voluntarily to the forward, he is actually smart enough to go in there and sneak in, because he could see that this player is stepping to the only option he sees on the other side. So he's most likely going to be dropping it back to the keeper. I hope you just heard what I said. Not an option here when he opens the game to the other side. So he's smart enough to know he's likely to, you know, drop it to the keeper. Watch, he goes to blind spot now. He's being smart. Maybe go that way, but bottom line is this. This is the big point right here. The keeper can see that player sneaking in. Keeper should have said man on, and that defender wouldn't have made that choice. He would have dribbled a little bit further and gave a better pass. Does that make sense? It's a very important point, that the lack of communication from keeper, because the moment defender turns his face the other side, the forward, smart forward sneaking in there is, you know, is like doing the best thing he can do. He's going to be reading the next play, right? He's reading the play. But if the goalie sees him coming and he sees the whole field, he should have said something about that. It's definitely the problem there. Most people who watches this goal, they'll be directly blaming the center back. Again, I personally would have subbed out the keeper, and I watched this game live, and he's been doing this kind of decisions throughout the game with his passing. Rewind back to this. I'm going to be kind of thinking like you guys think. He looked up, he sees the player or not, right? But he makes a choice to take the shot. Right here, if there is not communication, he's going to try to score that goal, but the defender is covering that. So it's a small chance to score. Now, most of the time, our players, because of lack of communication, we do a lot of watching the game. And unfortunately, watching the game is not during our own games. You're supposed to watch the games on YouTube to get better. You're not supposed to watch the game in the game. You're supposed to be a part of the game. You're not in the bench. You've got to be a part of the game. How can you be a part of the game when he just beat the keeper there, defender is running at him, you just let him know you're wide open. And I'm guaranteeing you, he's communicating right there. But we don't do. Our forward in here, in the center, would have been like, you know, he got this. He got this. Or she got this. No. She might get it. She might score. He might score. Bottom line, you still need to let him know you're there. Yeah, set plays are more than half the game, guys. For a lot of you guys need to be watching that for sure. And some of you guys didn't understand. Unfortunately, some of our boys are just being themselves, especially older boys. I recorded some FIFA, and I'm trying to show you guys what our system would do, not a FIFA would do, or a good FIFA player would do, what our players should be doing, what kind of attacks need to be starting, and what the decision of the center forward, sometimes playing false nine, sometimes playing as a target man. So what are these decisions gonna be? So this is nothing to do about your FIFA skills, it's all about the tactical. So please pay attention to where players are, because they're playing, the red team is playing our system, exactly our system, and so pay attention. Penetrating from the center of the goal, always open the game, showing up between two players, moving the ball as quick as you can, and scoring a goal. So usually we use a lot of the white, but if you got skillful players and your teammates are showing up right in between players, why not do this right? So from the beginning, dribble, through ball, and he sees that defenders are coming, so he opens the game to the opposite side. Patience, through ball again, without looking. I think that's a beautiful goal for some of our center forwards, center mids that should be really looking into some of these combinations. I want you guys to kind of pay attention to the build-up in here, and what I would be the composure and the patience I expect from my defensive players in our half. They drop it back. They go wide. They try. Okay, now a lot of you guys don't have the patience, and parents definitely don't have the patience. They don't understand why we're passing in the back. I hear parents yelling, like, "Go forward! My kid is the forward, number 9. Give it to her. Give it to him." But unfortunately, all of these players gotta learn how to play the sport, and we all want all of them to be successful and being patient and spreading out the other team. And in this case, if you can see, the other team is not stepping to us. So when you are possessing the ball in the back, you are making them, waiting for them to step up a little bit higher. And also you can see some of the through balls and openings that can go through to the other half, and while you're bringing more players to your half. Through. He cuts back. Why? Okay, this is why I did this here on purpose. I want you guys to pay attention to this right here. So he cuts back. He passed the through ball. Now, here, I want you guys to see, when he is being smart, he's going to dribble to the side, and the player is closing down. Most of the time, a good player, really good player, a center mid, that a lot of our center mids in Washington State, though, they don't see this perspective. They'll be counting how many players are on that side. Okay? And they are understanding that this is going to be sooner or later, even if I can pass up the ball to that player, this is a bad idea. No. I think it's here. Cuts back, because there is not an option up there. That's what I was talking about. Okay, now he opens the game. Through ball. Through ball, through ball. Going wide. Open the game. Finds another through ball. Another through ball. Another through ball. It's not a goal, but definitely an example attack. The one that I was talking about was right here at the beginning. When the player, look, we are spreading. Look, now they're coming in. You see that? They're coming in. Through ball. He see, that was the one. All right. So do you see what happened there? Am I not going far enough? Okay. He looks that way. All right. So closing up. There's a player here. He can go, but how many of the whites are up there? Okay, and they are very compact. Cuts back, drops it back for a better option. He cuts back, doing the same exact thing. He opens up the center. Patience. Patience. Through ball. Through ball. We spread him out a little bit more. Now we can go through more. That was a little bit risky, but still worked out, right? He goes forward, cuts back to see the through ball. Through ball. Another run. Beautiful run. For a center mid. Alright. For a center mid. This pass right here is critical. Make it look like you have a shot you're going to go, so it makes this player commit, but you are aware this guy is making a run. Now, two things happens. Obviously, this is a good chance to shoot. Just shoot the ball. Yes. But if this player, which we don't have forwards that would make that run right away, because they, like I said, we do a lot of this. He got this. He's going to shoot this. Make the run. Because even if it takes the shot, goalie saves it. If you're making the run, you're one-on-one with the keeper, you finish it. You score a goal. Keep making your run. Okay? Now in here though, this is another level of players. He sees that the maybe he's not a righty, or he doesn't trust his shot, or maybe he thinks the defender is coming hard. This has 100% chance for this player when he's making the run. But the best part is he wasn't looking to give him the pass. He cuts it back later, opens up the space for him, and he should have finished that for sure. Do you see that? What I'm trying to show you guys. The creativity and waiting for the right moment to go forward instead of trying to go forward every single time. You need to eliminate numbers from their half. Now, this is a big point. You need to eliminate numbers from their half. If the other team has 10, 11 players in their half, it's going to be pretty hard to possess the ball in their half. So wait for the right moment. When you're building up, you see that now 2, 3 players entering to your half. This is a good time to start, using the through balls, using the forward space, and then while I'm talking, I'm gonna let it play, waiting for them to step up so you can eliminate numbers from the other half. Right? We're waiting. We just want them to come in, and now we're still waiting. Now we're seeing 4, 5 players entering, 6 players entering to our half. This could be a good time. Sooner or later, this could be a good time to go forward. Right now, he sees the opportunity. Through ball. Another through ball. This was a risky through ball, but through ball. Goes wide. Comes back. Finds another through ball. Opposite side. Pass. Acts like he's going to shoot. Bomb. Beautiful attack. I think this is better than the goal itself. It's absolutely great attack. Any questions, any comments about that? Alright guys, next one. This is from the same game, I think. Alright, I'm gonna rewind back to here. Now, when this player gets the ball, pressure is coming and he's aware the pressure is coming. 1, 2 players, there's a through ball here. And also he could have cut it back because the 2 players coming this way, you could have seen an opening right here. I would have done that right away, myself. Okay, even though this is me playing, I wanted you guys to see this, how you can get up by seeing the players through balls. Look at right away. One action, makes a reaction of the defense. Space. He's gonna step. This guy's gonna step. Opens up. He just needs to be in the right spot. Unfortunately, our guy will be here somewhere behind this guy. Or he's just going to be like running forward senselessly, pulling a Forrest Gump move. Okay, that's good. So he's patient. He can do a long ball. Nope, he cuts back. He's wanting more numbers. He cuts back, opening the game. Now we want them to slide. We want the other team to slide, and they did. We're waiting for that. Now, again, no look pass. No look pass. Great attack again. Now, I want you guys to see this combination right here, what our system should do. Actually, let's go from the beginning. So we went to the left side. We made them go to the left side. Now we're making them come this way. We're pulling them here. All of their players coming in. Now again, when we catch him off guard, we're going this way. Now he looks this way, like he's going to pass to the right mid, but then he passes to the opposite side. Unfortunately, the finisher is not doing a good job. No look passes. When you know where the player is, then take the attention off that player by looking opposite side of that player and still give it back to him. It's going to change the way you play. How many of you guys answer this? See me do this kind of passes in the practices, even though I'm an injured guy. It's an instinct for me because that's how they trained me. Showing up between the players is critical. You don't always have to get the ball. You just need to be there. Don't hide behind the player. Good point. It's critical that we see this no-look passing more and more. That's how you create number 6s, 8s, and especially number 10s. You got to be able to take the attention to the wrong area. Don't make it so obvious you're going to pass it there. Be smart about where you're going to be passing. And if you look at somebody, do the pass fast. remember our rule, if you look at a person more than 2 seconds, it is too late. Okay? 2 seconds means the other team can see you too. You get the ball, you see the player, you pass it. This should not take more than 2 seconds. This should be happening right away. You watch that U19 Champions League level kids playing, they're moving the ball fast. How quickly they pass the ball around, how quickly they're moving the ball. Honestly, I'm going to rewind back to that real quick. In that game, I want you guys to, I'll tell you when. Obviously, this is the free kick, but I want you guys to watch one part is like critical for me. This is the follow through. Obviously, the defenders are still running, but they're not, following. I think they actually assumed that was going to be a goal because it was a good shot. Now, I want you guys to see how small places they pass through. Some of you guys don't realize, as long as you show up between two players and your pass is steady hard. Look at this right here. Between two players, short distance. Look at how many quick areas. This is insane. Like, this is absolutely insane from what you do. Look, they are actually finding and being in between two players in small areas and how quickly they move the ball. Watch, pass. He gets the ball, finds between two players. Bomb. He lets the other guy take it. Unfortunately, not a good shot. But how quickly they're moving the ball. That was such a lucky goal. I hate getting scored on because people assume that somebody's going to touch that and it goes through. Definitely goalie should have done better. Beautiful control. Through ball. Look at between how many players. Do you see that? Between how many players? That small space. And most of the time, in this case, if the player looks up, he'll be making a run inside. But he's looking down, he's dribbling, right? So the forward is recognizing this guy is going to look for a short pass. Looking down. Look at that pass. Beautiful. Pulls the foul. But a beautiful. Absolutely great in here. And I want you guys to watch some of their techniques. You might recognize some of the technical coaches there was my coaches. So we have a lot of the same technical dribbling skills, a lot of the same techniques to shoot, pass, control. Beautiful shot. Control. In. One more move. Bomb. Beautiful goal. It's almost like when you watch yourselves versus when you watch these guys. This is not fast forward, guys. These guys actually moving fast. He looks up. He looked a little bit too much waiting for my taste, but he did pass the ball quickly. But the best thing about that attack is the fact that they are willing to open the game quick. That sad Fenerbahce player in the back is realizing him going in the game is not going to change anything. So when we do, if you have questions or comments, please do it. I'll come back to that, and I would love it if you guys have some opinions. That'd be great. One thing that I wanted to show you guys, you know how we do the 5 versus 5s in practices? It's critical to work with defensive shape and work with the offensive shape, offensive decisions. Sometimes we do 6 versus 6. That will be more realistic too. But right now we're going to be working on this. So it's all about creating the triangles, right? So I'm going to show you guys something. So let's just say this guy dropped the ball to this player. He has to show up between the two players, right? That's going to respond to these guys to be more compact, correct? So 1, 2, okay? Now here is where we fail, because this is what's happening. Now, who are the players? I want you guys to write down your answer. Who are the players involved with this play? Who are the players? You can send numbers, you can say positions. Who are the players involved with this play right now? And who should be involved with this play right now? We got the right answer from Rafa. All of them available should be involved. All of them. This is what we do in practices. This is what bothers me. I yell at you guys sometimes. Why didn't you make a run? Because these guys are connecting the triangle. They pass, and he's making a run. So now we're just watching from here what's going to be the next. Dude, you are the next play. If he gets the ball here and releases the ball quickly, you're going to be coming in an easy goal. Goalie's trying to get to you. You shoot it to the back post. It's a goal. It is a goal because you are involved. All of you are involved. All of you should be involved every single time. So what is the rest of the field positions should look like in this? So if this player shows up here, okay, ball comes here, he's making a run, right? Pass comes here, right? He's making a run. He's running in. This guy is running in. This guy is gonna running in, and this guy is covering. This is our response. Okay, they're running back. They're running back. Blind spot. Release the ball here, or release the ball there. Some smarty pants is gonna say, "Why is the goalie out there?" Okay, I put the goalie back for you, because it matters for you, because you're gonna find the dumbest thing. All right, let's go with here. Bomb. Okay, shoot. Goal. Bomb, shoot, goal. How quickly you can get in a situation that you can actually score a goal, right? Every player responded to what we are doing, correct? Okay. Think more like this. All right, so pass. Now, I want to show you another one. So, if the player passes here, and this player is a good forward, and instead of going to the same side, obviously it requires this guy to start making a run when this is happening. When he's checking in here, he's going to be coming in, and this guy's going to be coming in. If he turns the game to the opposite side and touches it like this, number one, he has a shot now. Number two, if he has a shot, this guy's going to come in. He can release the ball wide to this player. And honestly, this is an easier goal than the first one. And this is what we watched the U19 Champions League level in Europe do a lot. The forward turns the game, bomb to the opposite side, finds the opposite side wide open, because now this players, that first attack, we were defended by 4 players. The last pass beat the whole defensive line, right? But in this one, you can actually get to the opposite side where the defense is caught off guard quicker, and you can get a more quick opportunity right away. Do you understand? So it is critical that we understand these touches, especially if the ball is coming from out wide. So if the ball comes from here, you check in between, just turn it this way. Because I'm telling you, one of the things could happen, the player sees the ball, he's running to it. Okay? So he's going to be stepping, trying to win the ball. If you turn the one touch this way, you could be having a one-on-one as well. You could be going yourself. Okay? Please understand that it's so critical you do this. Alright? What is the other choices we have? Like, what if the player is having the ball this way, the pressure is coming here? We can show up, we already seen the options, we can turn it the other way, but markup is close. Why not make this run diagonal this way? Opens the space for this guy. So, release, you're running, what does that make you? You are now the center forward, right? You're now the center forward. These guys are recovering. You're going to the blind spot of the player. This guy is recovering for this guy to get it. What does that make this guy? Outside mid drop. The center mid. Center mid becomes the deep center mid here. This guy, if he's moving forward, he can be the right forward and make a run inside to the blind side. Okay. Or let's just say they recovered really well. They recovered quick. Okay, and they recovered quick. So this player is here, and he doesn't have the cross anymore. We're recognizing he doesn't have the cross anymore. Okay? If he's looking up, he needs to be here. But if he's not looking up, there's a couple of things he can do. One, he can come back. Gets the ball, what do? We turn it to the opposite side because the pressure is going to be coming to him. Defense is going to be pushing. He turns it, right? If this player is smart, he will make a diagonal route to this guy when he's recovering this way. When he turns the ball comes from here. He checks. When he turns the ball here, only thing he needs to do is drop it to this gap. He makes a diagonal run. Beautiful goal. Done. Over. David Villa. Messi to David Villa. When David Villa was playing in Barcelona, this was David Villa and Messi together. I think that's probably Messi's favorite forward that played number 9 there, that think like Messi. Any questions? Do you see how important it is to have a forward that is capable of running all different directions as well as receiving the ball and changing direction quickly? Okay, like standing forwards have no future playing at a club in a professional level. There are requirements sometimes when you play a false 9, yes, you got, but even then you got to be moving a lot. I want you guys to really, like, the laziest position in soccer, probably number 9 if it needs to be, let's just say, but watch how many miles they run in a game. We have forwards, they just like don't move. They have stepped like, if there's a step count, they have stepped like 300 steps in a game. You can't play forward past Cash Park Soccer with that mentality. You need to move off the ball. And that goes to everybody. I'm just going to give you a bad news. We're complaining about forwards. If you're playing center mid, outside mid, you need to be running about 5-6 times more than the forward, whatever mileage they run. So we need to get that perspective clear, that look at how the off the ball movement is happening in here. You need to be participating. The question there was a trick question, and I'm glad that we got some right answers. All of the players in that half need to be involved with every play. That doesn't mean they all have to go forward, but they need to be involved with the play. Alright guys, if you have any questions, please ask. Yeah, you know me, Jason. If a forward is walking around, they're getting subbed out very soon. And they're going to be complaining, why am I getting subbed out? I didn't even touch the ball. I wonder why. I wonder why you didn't touch the ball. So, perspectives. Change your perspective. Change your perspective that demands you to do more work. And demands you to do less talking. Demands you to do less complaining. Demands you to do more for yourselves and for your teammates. Okay guys? Thank you. I was very sarcastic mode today. Hopefully you guys weren't offended. Some of you guys might be offended. I hope not. But I hope you guys get the points. There's a lot of good points there to take. Thank you Rio and Jason for today. I appreciate you guys. And thank you for joining us guys. I hope you guys learned a lot today. Thank you guys.